A big shakeup may be approaching the search industry as consumers are becoming more dissatisfied with Google. The search giant owns nearly 70% of the search market, but issues over privacy, relevance, and spam continue to build against it. Well, search engine startup DuckDuckGo has been working to take on Google since its launch in 2008, and recent growth indicates that it could be gaining some ground. The company has made numerous developments over the last year, all of which further distinguishes it as a unique alternative to Google. So at this time, we're going to bring in Gabriel Weinberg, the founder of DuckDuckGo, to find out more about what's going on at the search engine. It's great to have you again, Gabriel.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
Great. Well, a lot has happened over the last year for DuckDuckGo. So for starters, if you could just catch us up on some of the developments the company has made.
Sure. I mean, we've had a large growth, as you probably saw. I mean, so that's been reported a lot. But more importantly, in the product, we've developed a platform where developers can add instant answers to DuckDuckGo. It's one of the things we do more than other search engines, have a lot of answers on top. And so now developers can add their own plugins for all sorts of niche areas of search. So if you're, interested in bioinformatics or something, you can make a plugin for bioinformatics, and those searches will come up with instant answers.
Well, as you said, various reports indicate that the daily search queries for DuckDuckGo have gone up 227%. So what else can you tell us about this growth, and do you have any specific stats that you can share with us?
Sure, we do. We're approaching, we're a little under about 50 million queries a month of direct searches, and that's about 1.5 million a day.
Wow.
We've grown gradually since the beginning, but we had a major uptick at the beginning of the year when we launched visual redesign. And so if you remember our site from a year ago and you go in it today, it should look a lot better. And that was about, 100 little small changes that just make the search experience much nicer. And so that kind of upticked our growth in terms of people referring other people to the site, and then just a higher percentage will stick on the site because of that.
Right.
And so in addition to that, privacy obviously has become big in the news in the past. It was big before, but in the past few months, it became really big. And so we got mentioned a lot in those stories.
Absolutely. Yeah, I want to get into that just a little bit later, but when we spoke last year, you told us that DuckDuckGo is different from other search engines for its zero-click info feature and its stance on both spam and privacy, as you said. So how has DuckDuckGo evolved over the last year and really further distinguished itself in these specific areas?
Right. So we focus on those three areas, and then also just in general on the UI and the lack of clutter and just overall search experience when you're on the site. So in that last area, we did this visual redesign. In the spam area, we continue to aggressively remove these irrelevant sites that you find that just have ads on them. And then the instant answer area, we launched a DuckDuckHack platform where we're going to get instant answer coverage on just way more queries in all sorts of niche areas that you wouldn't have expected instant answers before. And on the privacy side, we basically continued our core message of not tracking users.
All right. Well, what is your response to the multiple Panda updates that Google has rolled out in an effort to address its spam issues?
It's interesting. I don't have so much view into exactly what changed. A lot of it seems opaque to me. I'm sure there's tons of changes. But I still see a lot of the same kind of what I would consider content farms on Google. But I think they're definitely moving in the right direction.
Right. Well, in terms of privacy specifically, Google also rolled out a new privacy policy earlier this year. Do you think that it is better for users?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's a user decision, right? So we're making the case that there's certainly some users who would prefer to be tracked a lot less. And their new privacy policy means that you'll be tracked more, or at least it's opening the door for that. And so it further distinguishes us from them. And part of the reason for that is, they have all sorts of properties that we don't have. They run YouTube and, Android and all these things, but we're just focused on web search. So we don't have this kind of need to build a profile of value throughout all these different services.
Right. Well, Google has received a lot of complaints about its privacy, both in the US and Europe. Do you think that this will be the breaking point for the company?
I can't imagine Google going away or anytime soon or anything. So um, I don't think so, but I think that it certainly opens up the opportunity for other companies, including ourselves, to get more market share. Um, in the sense that I think there really is a percentage of people who prefer, alternative experiences. One of those experiences is not being tracked, but there are certainly others.
Mm-hmm. Right. So since DuckDuckGo doesn't track users, how does it make money?
It's interesting. We make money traditionally the same exact way, which is, show some ads based on what you typed in. And the thing is you don't have to track users to do that. If you type in mortgage, you can get a mortgage ad without really knowing anything about you. And Google makes most of their money, I think, even without tracking people. I think the problem is that they want to, serve better ads across their sites where you don't have that search query to serve an ad against. So if you search something on Google and then go to YouTube, they can now show you an ad related to what you just searched, minutes before. But while you're on the search site or our search site, we can target an ad just based on what you searched on.
So other search engines, they have focused on areas such as social, local, and mobile recently. What is DuckDuckGo doing in these areas?
So we have this umbrella focus on this instant answer approach. So that encompasses all those things. And so in local, we're showing a lot more Yelp instant answers and some other local providers. And mobile, we're redoing our mobile apps that will feature more of these instant answers easily. So when you're on the go, you'll be able to get these things without having to click on any sites, which is always a pain on mobile. We've done less on social, but where we've incorporated it is in kind of aggregate stats. So instead of trying to tailor the results to you in particular, and what we say put you in kind of a filter bubble, we instead just try to surface results that are generally known to be good, and that generally known can be used from signals from social. So if something is, a really hot link on Hacker News or Twitter, maybe we should push it up a little higher, but not just because, your friends said so.
Well, as you indicated earlier, one thing that seems apparent about DuckDuckGo is the fact that it is very focused on the searcher. So what can we expect from the search engine in the coming months to really further demonstrate this goal?
Sure. I mean, so we, like I mentioned, we're redesigning our mobile apps, so that's becoming a big focus. I'm not sure exactly when they'll come out, but maybe sometime this year. And so we're trying to reorient them around that goal. And then also, we're really focused on this DuckDuckHack platform. So trying to get users who are also developers to help improve the search engine for other users. So it's still a very user-centric idea.
All right. And lastly, do you believe that DuckDuckGo could be the next Google?
Not in the big company sense that Google is. I mean, our goal really is just to build a nice alternative search engine that a decent percentage of people would prefer as their search engine of choice. So we're not looking to become this big corporation that does all these different things. We're still going to try to stay focused on web search.
All right. We'll see what happens next. Thank you so much for talking with us, Gabriel.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And to check out this Google alternative for yourself, visit DuckDuckGo.com. I'm Abby Johnson with this WebPro News Report.